AFL Nation on 11:16 SEN. For Macca's Mini Share and Footy, $5.95 with any purchase. And Liquorland, we've got a drink for that.
From the arc of 50, Fantasia stabs it hard and straight and through for a goal.
Beautiful kick.
31-point leaders. The Bombers are stringing them together.
Brown got it across to McNeese, and now McKenna, a delight to watch. Chips it into the square. They broke them open, and it's Stringer that gets the easiest job of all. The chest mark and the blasting goal from the square.
Third quarter highlights from the TAC. Safer roads, save lives. TAC, working towards zero.
The TAC working towards zero. The three-quarter time score, Essendon 14-13, 97 over St Kilda, 7-10, 52. Our Red Energy 100% Australian experts, Danny Frawley, Gary Lyon.
Just delicately poised at the moment in terms of whether we're going to get a big story out of this or not, Jared. If St Kilda are able to win the quarter, then keep it under 45 points, and it's a bit of a nothing result. If they win the quarter by 4 or 5 goals, the Essendon Footy Club all of a sudden looking at 70 plus, Spuddy Boy, and that's a bit of a story.
Well, when the Saints were at 1 point up at the 20-minute mark of the second quarter.
It's a big stat, this.
Since then, Essendon have had 21 tackles to 8. They've been inside 21 times for 8 goals 6. St Kilda have been in 12 times for 1 goal 2.
So they've laid, St Kilda have laid 8 tackles in a quarter and a half.
Quarter and a half of footy.
I just saw Fantasia go down the race as well. So
And Hooker's gone to the back row, so
it's a full book for Essendon.
Full book.
They're out.
Well, St Kilda, like Carlton last week, surely not going to have 16 on the ground, Essendon.
They kicked 7 goals to 1 in the last quarter, didn't they? The Giants.
Opening bounce to the final turn for Tyre Power, your top of the ladder tyre team. It'll take an Essendon turn initially. Parrish got it, gave it to Merritt, kicks inside the 50. Mitch Brown was a target, gets to the back. Devon Smith paddled it, Brown is onto it, gave it to Smith, who snaps the goal. That's superb. Devon Smith on an angle away from goal, hooked it severely enough and landed it on target. His first. The Bombers up by 51. It took 20 seconds.
Centre square dominant, Spud. Can you tell me about it?
Since they were 1 point up, St Kilda, 8 for Essendon, 2 for St Kilda.
So 8-2 out of the centre. 10 of the last 12 goals to the Essendon Footy Club. 51 points to margin at the start of the last quarter, with 4 men on the bench, no rotations. Now we're starting to see a developing story here tonight. This is interesting. Just seen Hooker on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen 3/4 time with Doc Reed. Yep. He doesn't look good. Maybe a little hammy tightness for Horatio Fantasia. He's with Doc Reed. He doesn't look good. No rotations, and they're running away with it.
Who's Essendon play next week? They're getting very excited. The kick goes inside 50. Taken by Brown. He winds it up pretty well. Gives it to Langford. High ball back to the top of the square. McKenzie got hands to it, but didn't take the mark. Stephen came through. Had some strength to the situation. Got it across to Ross and then short to Sinclair. And then chips it along the line to Lewis Pearce. So Pearce is at half back.
Don't overthink it, big fella.
Hasn't been the worst. He's had 16 disposals.
That's it. Down the line.
Yes. Off and running. Kicks it up towards the wing. Big pack of players. Form.
Ducked into it, Loney.
Take the mark. Loney is grabbed immediately by McKenna and forces the ball up. So you're pretty disconsolate looking Fantasia there.
He's out of business.
Yeah.
It's Richmond next Friday night.
Oh no. That's going to be... Well, interesting. Yeah.
Sinclair gathers against the boundary and kicks it out of bounds on the full.
So Sinclair's another one of those blokes. I reckon it's in that interesting stage of his footy. Sinclair, Loney. Jack Newton's played 130 odd games. I mean, is that right?
Yep.
That's a lot of footy.
The restart went backwards to Hurley. So the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard has the Dons up by 51. Bell Chambers presents. Bounds in and takes the mark at half back. Slips the hand pass to Merritt. Just couldn't find the way forward. Has to kick it up over Pearce. Gets it in the stringer direction. St Kilda had the numbers at the job. Geary tackled by Collier, but he's able to get it away. McKenzie worked his way through. Stephen waits out the back. McDonald Tippenwoody got him. Hand passed away, but not to great effect. Collier got manhandled. Free kick.
Wrong player. McDonald Tippenwoody. Jack Stephen, he looked at him and said, I can get around you. Yeah, you've picked the wrong mark there, Jack.
Collier's not back on his correct angle, 70 away from goal.
How do the Bombers play this with their down to absolutely no rotations?
All out, Hutto. All out. No saving anything.
Poor kick from Collier, who bounces it out of
percentage,
play.
In fact, you'd almost say, if you're John Morse, I'd say, you deserve this, you blokes, given what we happened to us in the first, or we deserve it, given what happened to us in the first 8 weeks of the year. This is what we're going to pay the penance.
From the throw, Pearce with some expertise got it down to Sinclair. Nathan Brown was claimed he was able to manufacture a half kick, and they've worked it out, sort of. They've got it onto the outside, and the kick goes down the line by Steele. Bit of early work done illegally.
Too early, I had it.
Yeah, on Francis.
Spud, I want your thoughts on Lewis Pearce with Scott Lycett in the sights. Has he done anything tonight that would suggest that maybe you can work on him?
Yeah, no doubting that. No, there's a lot to like about him tonight. Bell Chambers, he's beaten him, so that's a great start.
Francis kicks to half forward. There's 3 Saints, and they do work out who's going to do what this time. Mackenzie Mark
Playing his second game, and he played his first game 2 years ago.
hand pass through to Steele, and now they are making some progression via Ross. A bounce and a kick chucked up inside the 50. Good work by in the body that time done by Nunes, and as a result of that, after taking the mark, he'll have the shot.
That's a structure thing, to see at a centre clearance have the centre corridor opened up like that and have someone run through there like Seb Ross did without any opposition. And that's a nice kick, really nice kick.
Just kept Zaharakis away from it. Just the right amount of contact as he was coming to try and defend. He's taking his time here. It's almost Ben Brownish on the run. Jack Nunes, his 10th disposal only of the night coming up.
Been quiet.
Inside 50, he gives it plenty, and he's put it on its way, and it's straight, and it's through. And the Saints get their first of the last. 15-13, 103 plays. 8-10-58. Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard. And the Toyota Good for Footy program, of course, is supporting local clubs everywhere.
It's like Mitch Brown is going back behind the ball, so maybe Worsfold's thinking we just need to possess the ball as the extra player, Mitch Brown.
And our big Belcho's going forward.
Okay.
So that means Stringer's going to do a little bit of nominal ruck work, if you like.
So 4 injuries down on the bench. Spitwater high pressure cleaners for the Bombers. Hooker and Fantasia added to Sard and Goddard from early in the game. Pearce tried to just smash it forward after working his way around Stringer. Didn't quite open the way. Fighting hard as Akers. Hand passes out the back to Ross. The Saints work it around. Patton has hold of it. Dinks his kick to half forward. Heppel came from the side, got a hand in there, couldn't quite win it away. Patton's got it again. He sends it deeper this time. Long! Had the run at the pack, flew and took the mark of the Knights. A Glenn Cameron can-do mark of the day.
He made the mistake of landing on his feet, Jared. He should have just come down. And...
he's a talent. As I said, he was the NAB Rising Star nomination and then fractured his leg, stressy. So he's missed 11 weeks. His first game back since that fracture.
He's a talent, all right, and Ben Long steers it through for the goal to add to a very fine mark. The Saints string a couple together. They're down by 39 points. 9-10-64 to Essendon. 15-13, 103. 7th minute of this final term on the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard.
Well done to young man. They can't afford to lose the quarter.
Yeah, that's
it's as simple as that. And that's where the interest lies. Is if they lose the quarter with Essendon with no rotations, and that's an embarrassment. And they've done the right thing here. They've kicked 2 in a row. They've won. They're a goal in front for the quarter, and they've got to keep pressing here and keep asking the question and spreading the ball, making Essendon run.
If they kicked a couple more in a row,
could be interesting. You never know. Yep.
We're getting excited about this big Friday night. I've gone early.
It's Carlisle 3 versus Mitch Brown, so Worsfold's aware that they're running out of juice. They've got an extra on the ball.
Steele out of the middle, or patted away back to him by Stephen, who feared that it was getting away from them, and it might have been Rice. Able to clean it up somewhat. Haphazard kick, fisted on by Marshall. Impressive if it sits for Loney. No,
give it.
Gave way to Long, and he was trapped from all sides, but recovered by Gresham. Standing start, shot a goal from Patton. He's just tugged it a little to the left, and it's a minor score. 38 points the difference. Another Essendon player down, Bagley. 15-13, 103, plays 9-11-65. Oh, he was clipped by his own teammate, Mitch Brown.
No, this could be
this could be 17.
Genuine GWS. Jade Gresham's the sort of player that's got to catch fire. I know if you want to get your excitement levels up even further, because right now at 39 points, it's going to take something unbelievable. But if Bagley has to come off the ground, and the doctors are looking at a replay screen right now, then that makes it interesting all of a sudden.
He's been given the all clear on the blood rule.
Extraordinary toll, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. This is the same ground on Sunday.
AFL Nation for Macca's Mini Sharon Footy, $5.95 with any purchase. So Bagley looks like he's survived. Docs are down having a look at the vision on the bench right now. Hurley with the kick in. He didn't place that at all well, and Marshall slides in and marks 60 out from goal.
Did well, Marshall.
Tired kick, wasn't it? It shouldn't have been. He had 3 minutes to get ready.
Marshall's going to set it up to the teeth of goal. Membry checked and he's running it open the way for Billings.
They're coming.
Hello,
Billings played on, snapped the it's touched.
No.
He was at the top of the goal square.
Why do you play on? To take the pressure off yourself.
Having a review.
Aaron Francis, field umpire was right there. He called it immediately that it had happened.
It's touched.
They have to call a review.
Yeah, you see.
You said that. Drinkwise score review. Great footy moments. This will be confirmed as a rushed behind. It'll be a 37-point margin. Drinkwise, you won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise.
Well, Loney played on the third quarter and Billings then. But they are stopping us. Look at that, just a short kick there. There's no run. They're just dumping the ball down the line. And what the Saints should be aware of this is get it and switch.
Hurley kicks from the back pocket, not beyond a half back. Big wrestle between the two ruckmen. Marshall versus Belchambers. McDonald, Tippinwood, pounced. He gave to Langford. Smith was on a long run, but the fumble from Langford made it more difficult to piece together. He's recovered pretty smartly, though. Short to Collier. Kicking 3/4 out from goal. Centering ball in. It did give the Saints a look. Fumble by McNeese. Tried to spin through. Instinctive handball. McDonald, Tippinwood. They came for him. Almost took his head and the hair off. And the ball is come back to Armitage off the right boot. Squeezed the kick out. Fisted on by McKenzie. And that sets the Saints on their way.
Loney with a decision to make. He shuffled the hand pass to Ross, who I don't think was expecting it. No damage done. He gives it to Akers. Links it up with Billings. Kicks deep inside the 50. Gresham one-on-one with McKenna. McKenna did enough. Got his fist to it and knocked it out of play in the right forward pocket for the Saints.
So Merritt trying to come off the ground here. Yeah. Told he can't.
37 points.
Is that luck? Oh, he's got the brace and bits too.
It's like Gaz tonight.
Got the bottom lip down.
When the heating was...
wasn't that? Toys out of the cot.
Seamus with the tap.
Middle of winter.
It was a Bendix break big moment. Insist on Bendix breaks.
Why wouldn't you have the air conditioner?
Careful to himself to the footy. It'll be balled up. Right forward pocket for St Kilda. If they could get a run of goals, the Bombers will stop to a walk. Marshall tapped it out the side, but Bagley is onto it. Opens the play up to Hurley.
No switching at all.
Kicks it out of the back pocket. Stringer against Nathan Brown. Nathan Brown made the spoil. Langford dispossessed. Geary pops it back inside the 50. Gresham had the whole field to fly against him.
That's the extra, Jared.
Well controlled by Mitch Brown. AFL Nation for Macca's Mini Sharon Footy, $5.95 with any purchase.
So who's the extra?
Well, my question is always, do these players realise now what's behind the footy? And if they do, they've got to adjust accordingly.
Well, they must, because they look up and see Carlisle on his own.
Ball out of bounds, about 75 metres around from the St Kilda goal. At this stoppage, you must, if you're a St Kilda player, look towards your forward 50 and see where the spares are.
So ball about to be thrown in. Half forward for St Kilda. Belchambers muscled his way. Smith tried to steal it off the pack, only with limited success. Parrish, straight to Loney. Did he duck? The umpire deemed that he did. Now he's going to be pinged for holding the ball.
Well, fair enough. He did duck. I actually thought it was too high, but if he did duck the scone,
it has to be 50.
Well, it's got to be 50 now. That's got to be 50. Yeah, got away with one there, Loney.
Extreme latitude to Loney. Bagley has the footy at half back. Still a couple back in reserve if he wants
no switch at all. No run like they had in the third quarter, the Bombers.
Just a picture of hesitation. Did not know what to do, but Zaharakis went back 20 metres, receded further into defence, and then Hurley back to Zaharakis. And he's... it's a dodgy little kick. McGrath didn't even try and mark it, fisted it, got it back, and then kicks it up along the wing. Saints need to just take control of this. Instead, they're giving away silly free kicks. And this is another one. Goes against Geary.
They've stopped to walk the Bombers, though, haven't they?
Yep. McKenna uses it short to McGrath. Now there's nobody with him, so he takes off and delivers to Collier up at the 50. You'd fancy he's too far out, but he can affect the kick for Stringer. He was against Armitage, and it was a terrible matchup. Armitage didn't really know how to play him at all.
No, spotted, beautifully called, Jared. Poor old Armour, he's thinking, what do I do? I'll just jump and see what happens. And what happened was Stringer actually used Armitage's jump as a ball.
He screamed him into it.
Into the night, he screamed. He said, I'll just shepherd the ball drop for you, Jake.
2-1 and 2 out on the full, Jake Stringer.
This would make it tough for the Saints.
He's going to lay it off to Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti. Was it a half volley or a mark? He's paid the mark.
That's unforgivable. I'm afraid when if St Kilda was serious about the thought that maybe with numbers and all that sort of stuff they could put enough pressure on and get on a roll, on a slow play they've allowed McDonald-Tipungwuti to come and lead out, and it's an honesty system catch, that one.
Yeah, not sure about that, whether Gilly would have play on.
Yeah, but it's still inexcusable why you got your two extras behind Tipungwuti, and they haven't sealed him.
He's close in, he is on a tight angle. Anthony McDonald-Tipungwuti kicks his 5th.
Wow, what a game.
And puts an end to any thoughts that there was something crazy in the wind. No cheap thrills tonight, Hutto. Not at the footy, at least.
I don't think it'll be much at home, Jared.
And good evening to Eloise.
Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard 16-13, 109 to the Saints 9-12-66.
You never know.
That was the White's taken the steam right out of the contest now. The Saints kicked back-to-back goals.
Yeah, unbelievable.
They both kicked 2 goals each this quarter. And it looked like the free kick on the other side was the damning one for the Saints. And then they just got 3 uncontested marks down the line.
So the best case scenarios for the Bombers put up on the TV: West Coast beating Port, Brisbane beating Collingwood, Adelaide beating the Giants, the Bulldogs beating North, and Melbourne beating Sydney.
It's a hard way to watch a weekend, isn't it?
It is. Well, at least you know who you want to win. And as Geary kicks the centre half forward, it's fisted away by the Bombers' defence. Heppel, Steele, there's Zaharaka, still did well. To Ross, in a rush, Stephen, back to Ross, now Geary, he needs to curl the ball back, he realised that, top of the square, Francis got a fist to it, hits the turf, Steele about to be tackled, back to Ross, has another crack, screws it back to the goal square, could have been interference.
Free kick.
It was.
Yeah, to Marshall, got dragged off the ball by Bagley.
Seb Ross is having a crack, Spud.
Yeah, he is.
He was in the wrong spots in the 3rd quarter, but he's playing like a leader in this quarter who believes. I'm not sure the rest of his mates do.
Like a view on this one, Chemist Warehouse.
Oh,
I thought it
was. Yeah, sorry, I thought it was Bagley, but it was Mitch Brown. He's had 8 disposals for Simmons, Seb Ross this quarter.
Crowd was
it's a free kick
about that.
I don't know why they're whinging, Hutto.
Marshall gets to have the shot.
Holler for Marshall.
Oh. Subtlety, Spud. That's.
Thank you.
I don't think there's your picture there in the dictionary. Kubota gets the job done. We'll go around the grounds in a moment as that one goes through. 16-13, 109 Essendon, 10-12-72. Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard. Roosters defeated the Rabbitohs 18-14 in the NRL.
The Essendon crowd there just telling the umpires are a little bit disappointed with that decision there, Anthony.
They clearly can't see the Chemist Warehouse replay, the real house of fragrances, because it's just straight up and down.
They probably can, actually, Jared. Just didn't go their way.
AFL Nation for Macca's Mini Sharon Footy, $5.95 with any purchase. 37,483 in to see it. The Bombers by 37. We've crossed the halfway mark of this final term. Nothing effective from the ruck work. Merritt with a hand pass picked off by Ross. He feeds it up, and it's a free kick only advantage paid to Akers inside the 50. Just getting enough on it. Marshall to flip it to the back. Long came out, tried to bump Francis, who spun out of it beautifully. Plays it into the back pocket for Devon Smith.
I like how Devon Smith wipes his hands before he marks the ball.
Yep. Smith out to the 50 for Hurley.
Is he a germaphobe or something, Spud?
Not sure what's going on there, Anthony. It must have sweaty palms.
Hurley prods it down the line. Bell Chambers is his target. Got to the front, couldn't take the mark. McGrath works hard in the pack and got it back after the ricochet from Langford. Guided forward by Myers. Heppel.
Free kick.
Yeah, all over him went Rice.
It was just a silly kick from Rice, wasn't it? Inexperience on Heppel. Heppel knew exactly what was going on.
Heppel has it at halfway.
Had a great game, Heppel.
They got their spare right across here on the other side of the ground, so whether they can get it across to Bagley or not.
Yeah, kick to Mitch Brown, and he brings it sideways to McNeese, and he comes to Bagley out on the near side. He's got options up ahead, although he's taken on Sinclair, slipped to ground, had to double back and kick under pressure by the time that he did. It's gone for Stringer. He's in front. Nathan Brown climbed over him. No free kick. Geary, hand pass against the boundary. Merritt pulled it in, gave it back to Stringer. He's in a tackle to Merritt, to McKenna. He hand passes it around to Zaharakis. Nothing tidy about it, but still in possession, and a chip kick works well to Myers.
What about Stringer? Brown may have been hanging on, but the ball spills over the back, and he's yelling at the umpire, and he could have actually got the ground ball. Their skill level tonight's been the different, hitting the targets. They've had 101 marks to 82.
Interesting graphic on the Channel 7 coverage showing all Australians on club lists. And St Kilda is the only club without an All-Australian.
And not sure there's one on the horizon, to be honest, Anthony.
Not unless they're bringing them in.
Not unless Spud's got the casting vote, maybe.
David Myers from 49. Gee, he can kick the footy.
Yeah, what's he kicked tonight?
He's put that into the third row, virtually from the 50. That's his second, and he's kicked the ball superbly all night. 43-point leaders, the Bombers, with 7.25 minutes to play. 17-13, 115 to 10-12, 72 on the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard.
Well, they couldn't find a mark early in the first 20 minutes, the Bombers. They just bombed away, but since then, the marks inside forward 50, they've had 18. They had one in the first quarter, and the ground balls also on the forward 50. Tippin Woody, he's had 5 contested ball, 2 tackles, and he's kicked 5, but the marking, you know, I think it was 20-minute mark, they didn't have a mark inside their forward 50, so they've changed their game.
17-13, 115 to 10-12, 72. It's back out to 43-point margin. They march out of this one. Merritt displays the kick wide. Here's Myers again. Trapped it, gave it to McGrath, who's playing a stellar game. Off to Langford, and he fires away for another one. That's the Bombers finishing with the momentum, and a frustrated Alan Richardson, head in hands again, shaking the head.
Well, Hutto, they're now losing the quarter.
And no one on the bench.
What they couldn't afford in any circumstances was to lose the final quarter when the opposition have got 4 players that can't come back onto the ground. They gave the first goal up. They were 45 points down at 3/4 time. They gave the first one up to 51. Then they kicked 3 of the next 4 to get it somewhere where you go, oh, well, they might escape a bit of heat. It's now back out to 49, and the heat comes back on.
Simmons interchanges this quarter, 1 to Essendon, 24 to St Kilda. And they're getting beat on the scoreboard.
It's 4 goals to 3.
49 points on the Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard. Bell Chambers hunts the ball out of the middle, didn't quite grab it. Ross to Armitage, who ducked his way through but gave up the footy to Parrish. Neat little hand pass to McKenna, who hits Heppel in the crossfire. It wasn't intended for him.
They've got
He's
life
able to
now.
get the footy.
They've got a bit of life.
The near side for Zaharakis. There's a couple of leads up at him, but he's determined to keep it at half back with Hurley. He can play it out the far side to Francis, and he'll complete the switch to Bagley.
Jared and Hutto, I want you to answer this question. All the proponents are saying cut the interchanges because that'll make the game closer and you won't be able to run it out. Well, both times we've had less interchanges in the last 2 weeks. It's going to be 14 goals to 4.
Bagley up to Parrish, who worked that out extremely well.
KB.
Lovely kick to Bagley. You can fight that battle. No. Bagley kicks it up to Myers, who's pushed in the back.
Oh, smart.
How often do we actually see teams 1 or 2 rotations down still do well?
That's my point.
Pretty often.
Could be a bit overrated, Hutto, the interchange.
Myers
Keep your best players out there, I reckon.
gets it all the way to the 50. Bell Chambers flew. It's a very good mark by Pearce, who's certainly had his moments. You can add that to the Glenn Cameron can-do mark of the night contenders.
He's been one of the better players for the Saints.
Hasn't been off much.
No.
He looks bigger and stronger than he was last time around, which is a good thing.
Lost a lot of that puppy fat too.
Pearce kicks up to the wing. Outnumbered the Saints, but it's going to be a free kick to Marshall and advantage. Billings took it in haste. He's kicked it to Ross.
Possession,
Membry
40
deep.
coming up for
Membry
Moss.
should take the mark. Hurley, this time outwits him to some degree, got past everyone, and it found its way back to Membry. He's tackled by Merritt, who just lodges a handball. Oh, cruelest to bounce. Patton keeps it in. Stevens gone for the miraculous. Diving effort top of the square. Heppel handballs. Sinclair's tackle. He'll go again and try and soccer a goal. Point that he missed. And AFL Nation for Macca's Mini Sharon Footy, $5.95 with any purchase.
Is that Seb Ross's first 40 possession game? I would venture a guess as old Fuzz goes to work up the back.
48-point margin. Hurley marks in the back pocket.
Baynard.
Inside the final 5 minutes of play. Hurley outside the 50. Ungainly fly from Mackenzie. Reached the back. McGrath nudged it forward. Collier got taken in the tackle. Gives it back to McGrath. Devon Smith's on the scene. Close to the boundary. He hooks a kick up the line. They double back. Geary and McDonald-Tipperwoody, and out comes Bell Chambers. McDonald-Tipperwoody so good on the tackle.
He's been superb.
Unbelievable.
He was sluggish for a period. He's now come to life. 7 tackles.
5 goals. He lays this one off to Devon Smith, who brings it in the stringer direction. Spoil made from behind by Steele. It's out of play. 60 away from the Bombers' goal. The Toyota Good for Footy scoreboard has them 48 points in front.
He had 40 last week, Gaz.
What's that stupid look on your face for?
What's that, Hunter?
Because it was last week.
The Bombers' percentage, the start of the game was 102, and it's now 105.1. So they've gone up 3.
Just taps it down, hoovered up by Zaharakis, off to Merritt, pressing kick top of the square. McGrath played full forward, Collier played the forward rover, but he screwed the ball back too severely. And it's marked by Webster, who goes short to Ross, who wastes no time, but
that's how you get 40.
Very fortunate to
yourself.
Get it back from Armitage on the volley, and then the kick goes wide from Nunes. It's fisted away by an outnumbered McNeese. He had to take on 3 of them, awkwardly working his way through. There's the big fella Marshall, gets another handball forward. They've got the half forward with Billings. Ball in hand, skims it towards full forward, gets over the head of Gresham, but Merritt playing that last line to perfection. His handball to Hurley. He eventually gathered he was going to kick to, wasn't ready for Langford, so he played it safe. Back to Merritt.
Jake Carlisle's been on the bench for, I don't know, about 15 minutes. Is he injured? He'd have to be injured, clearly.
Have to.
Merritt clears the area. McNeese dropped the mark. Parrish tidies up. Squares it off to McDonald-Tipperwoody.
Played 16 minutes in this last quarter, Gaz, yeah.
He kicks into centre field. McGrath presents for him. The Bombers look to go with some determination. Kick up to Collier. Took it on the half volley, but he took it cleanly. Gave it to Bell Chambers and got it back. Collier now shares it with Zaharakis, who kicks wide to the 50. Devon Smith's his target. Couldn't quite hang on to the mark. Who can win it underfoot? Socked once, twice, 3 times by Stephen. Tidied up by Rice. Bumbles it down the line. Met by Akers. Swings the hand pass inboard to Armitage and back out to Stephen. Pops it over the top, and Steele marks 50 metres out from goal. He can work it further on into the forward pocket, and it will be Ben Patton who can take the shot at goal.
They're all coming on, Gaz, all 4 that were on the bench.
He was not, well, I think 9.5 minutes.
Yeah, well, it's a long time.
9.5 minutes on the bench, so... have a shot, young man.
Yeah.
Have a shot. See if you can slot your first goal in your first game and have a memory.
Mitre United he is.
19-year-old on debut. Ben Patton, tough enough angle, right forward pocket, kicked it fluently and found the goal.
See if Jakey Carlisle make the run. He is making the run this time.
Yes, shuffle rather than a run, but he is making the effort to get there. Ben Patton with his first goal in AFL. 11-13, 79 St Kilda trailing Essendon 18-13, 121, 27 gone of the final term.
So they're winning the last quarter now by 3 points. Maybe only a little thing, Spud, but they wouldn't want to lose it, I'm telling you. 3 points is not a great deal, but in Alan Richardson's life, it's a small wins that you've got to take.
Yeah.
And we struggle to find anything else positive to say.
No, it's just...
Our red energy experts here tonight.
I'm looking at the
100% Australian.
Sard, Goddard, Fantasia and Hooker. It should be, in my opinion, a 4 or 5 goal win.
I just saw the family on the Chemist Warehouse replay screen, so that is a magnificent moment for that young man. Well done. Great goal.
42-point margin. Yeah, lovely way to Kick your first. Sent inside by Long to an outnumber and an outsized Gresham it was, who had to battle against two taller and wider Bombers. Mitch Brown was one of those who takes the mark, goes short to McNeice, tucked away in the back pocket. Not too long to go now. We're down to 1:30 in fact. Little short one to Myers. His 28th disposal and 21st kick. Takes him up to the wing. Geary well placed to take the mark. Got some protection from Marshall. Little handball into Steele. Oh. Late disruption from McDonald, Tippenwoody. Causes the imperfect kick. McNeice about to be tackled. Right. He's able to get enough distance on the kick, and then it worked off Langford's body. He didn't try and take it. He just took it and let it come off his body for Smith, who curls it back for Langford to return the favour. Now Jake Stringer powers away, left Long in his wake. He went hard left and then back to the right, and wouldn't you know it, his kick went to the left and he misses, and what would have been a nice way to finish off the evening. Just a little untidy in the end. 18-14, 122 to 11-13, 79. Toyota good for footy scoreboard.
2-2 for Stringer.
And 2 out on the full. McKenzie marks the kick in, works it out to Freeman, who kicks it to Ross.
43 for Simmons.
Thinks it inboard to Billings. Billings drops it onto the left boot. He'll clear halfway. Not to really any good effect. Mitch Brown, very strong mark in the pack. And he guides the footy to Hurley at halfback. And they can run the clock a little. Hurley's got options in the centre square, but he's got very little intention of using them. He kicks to the side for Heppel.
They're all cooked, the Bombers, and understandably so. They've been out there for the whole quarter. No one on the bench to come on.
The Bombers post their 11th win and keep everybody above them dead honest. They've done it in the face of significant adversity on the night and handed out a beating well forecast. Down in the Saints by 43.
Our boys who play this grand old game are always striving for glory and fame. See the Bombers fly up, up. We are the teams they don't fear. They all try their best, but they can't get near as the Bombers fly up.
They led at quarter time by 5, at the half by 24, at three-quarter time by 45, and without a fifth player on the bench, emerged 43-point victors.
I started to see Nathan Brown working his way over. I think he's heading towards Adam Sard, boys.
Yep.
So I think you'll find that the apology will be genuine here. Adam shakes the hand, and an exchange between two people involved in the nastier incident of the day. And I've got no doubt. I don't know Nathan that well, Spud, but when I have met him, he seems like a really good, decent fella. He's made a bad blue, and looks like he's apologised there to Adam Sard, and the season's probably done, isn't it?
No, it's done. He won't be playing. Well, we get at least 2, so they've only got 2 games left. Yeah, it was laid off the ball. Yeah, but the Saints, the mistakes they made in their defensive half, and that's been the issue all year, that not only the connection between the midfield and the forward half, the turnovers that they turn over to end up goals in the opposition was really deflating, especially in that second and third quarter.